I am going to be as reckless as I can with this rope and not upset him. I don't want him to have to be perfect. I don't want me to have to be perfect with this rope for him to accept it. This horse is used on a working ranch. The owner has a few hundred cows, and he wants to use this horse to move the cows around from pasture to pasture. So he's going to be a working, using ranch horse. And I talked to the owner, and the owner does not rope, but a ranch horse being able to be roped off of and drag something is kind of a staple in the jobs that a ranch horse should be able to do. And plus, it helps to get the horse broke in general, just for general riding. So even if you're not going to rope, not ever going to rope, your horse being able to accept a rope is really helpful in just getting your horse just generally broke. So this is the first time I've got a rope out and messed with around this horse. I didn't know what to expect. He acts like he's had a rope messed with around him, and it could be that when he was started, that he was ground drove and had a rope worked off of him then. So that gets us far ahead over a horse that had not been ground driven. This horse, I could tell the first time I put my hands on this horse that this horse was started very well. And this is another way that shows. Turn him around, let's work the rope on the other side. Anything you work on one side, you have to work on the other side. And you notice that I want to make sure he accepts the rope, that he's not scared of it. This is the first time I've worked a rope with him, but it's pretty obvious that this is not the first time he's had a rope worked around him. So I need to see, and a lot of this kind of goes into when you start working with a new horse. If he would have given me a different reaction, I would have changed how I was working with him with this rope. I'm going to work with him according to the actions that he tells me. This horse has had a lot of this done before. It's pretty obvious. There's no reason to go back and totally redo the foundation when it's obvious that foundation has already been done. A trainer that would do that is not spending their horse's training time and owner's money very effectively, very efficiently. This is just an old breakaway rope, an old rope with a breakaway Honda. And when normally, I don't know how far I'm going to get with the horse, whether I'm going to get to throw a rope off their back or not. Probably will with him. What I'm doing is I'm looking for any holes, any place that he would spook, anything that tells me I need to back up and work on something. I just threw it. He didn't worry about that. I pulled it back. He didn't worry about it coming to him. I am definitely not a roper. That's pretty obvious to anybody that does know how to rope. But I can usually get one pretty broke to a rope. Because normally when I'm done, I've done roped everything but what I'm trying to rope. Good boy. This is going to turn out to be not a very good first time roping on a new horse video, because it's pretty obvious that this horse has had a rope worked off of him before. But you never know till you try. And I was going to save that try for the video. I want to see what he's going to do if he gets a foot caught in the rope. He's not panicking, that's really good. If you remember from the first video, this is the horse that the owner had come off of. I'm keeping this lead rope short enough so that if he goes to run away or turn to kick at me, he can't really turn to get a shot at me. So the length of this rope here is really important for keeping me safe. Really don't want him to kick out at the rope. There we go. Good boy. Good boy. I want him to give to the pressure, but not kick out at the rope. Good boy. Turn around and do the other side. Turn around this way. I'm not going to be very particular about how I use this rope. I want him to be comfortable with it no matter where it goes, what it does. He needs to be broke to it. Check this foot. There we go. See him kind of turning, looking away. He's not quite as comfortable over here, or he's bored. One or the other. Kind of leaning towards maybe he's bored. So next thing. Let's see what happens when I put the rope up here on my saddle horn. Don't want him to spook away from it. Make sure he's okay with it there. Looks like it's going to be a pretty uneventful video. Let's get some reins and get on him and see what happens. Now you notice I did all this with him saddled, bridled, wearing the bridle. I just didn't have any reins clipped to him. That was intentional because I want him wearing the bridle, wearing the bit anytime we're working, like having his work clothes on. That is a big part of how I separate work from not work, work from play. Move him a little bit, check the saddle. Oh. Don't really want to swing my leg over while he's walking. That needs to get better. Needs to stand better while I'm getting on. Just walk him around a little bit. I'll make sure I got some walk and some steer before I get the rope out and start handling the rope. Turn him this way where he can see the rope hanging in the saddle. That's something new since he has been here. Don't really seem like he's even paying it much attention. Don't seem like he's concerned at all. I got my steering going. Now let's ask him to stop, and I'm going to pick up this rope Sack him out a little bit and let's see what happens. You know, this is going really good with this horse with the rope. But the thing that it goes back to is he was prepared, he was ready. When your horse is ready to do something, move on with it. He's already had this done. This is pretty obvious, even though I haven't done it. It's pretty obvious that this has been done. Notice while I'm doing this, we're not going out there. I got one rein shorter than the other so that I can keep him in a circle if he was to spook. Now he's trying to go back out there. We're not going to visit those horses. Swap hands. I am going to be as reckless as I can with this rope and not upset him. I don't want him to have to be perfect. I don't want me to have to be perfect with this rope for him to accept it. That's really important in getting him broke to it. He needs to see everything that goes on with this rope, good and bad. He was a little less comfortable there when I put it on his left hip. Let's go back over this way. Let's build a loop and let's see what happens. He's still more interested in going out there than he is the rope. Now I'm careful to keep finger in between the rope and the reins so that if he did spook, I can just throw the rope down and get rid of it. It's not direly important that I hang on to this rope and ride out whatever he does. If he has a big reaction, then that means there's something in our groundwork or some hole in our work that we need to go back and fix. Let's go back to the left. Doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be fixed here. Not going out there. He obviously needs more work on his neck rein. That will come along. He steers pretty decent off of leg cues, but you can see he's pretty distracted today. Don't mind the distractions. Bumped his ear there. Let's see if we can get him to stop. That got his attention, but he didn't do nothing bad about it. Let's drag it behind us a little bit. And let's see how he takes that. See if he worries about it being dragged behind him. Well, he's looking at it now. Now I found something he needs a little work on. Not as sure with it being dragged behind him. I'm gonna have to work on that because the next thing I want to work him on is dragging a log. We'll start with just dragging this rope. Same thing, if he spooks, bolts, jumps, whatever, I'm gonna throw the rope around. Throw the rope down. I can work this in a lot safer way than right here. If it needs work, I'll work it in a safer way. I'll work it from the ground. It doesn't have to be fixed here. Now that he's a little bit more worried about the rope, he's less worried about going out that open gate over there. Turn to the right. All right, see it has loops coming up behind him. I can feel him worrying a little bit about it, looking at it. He's snorting a little bit. Just hold it right there while we walk him at it. Boat is back up there. Let's keep on walking. Walk till he gets used to it. See him looking at it? You notice I still have his head to the side. If he was to want to leave, he's going to want to leave away from it. He'll probably keep his eye on it and leave forward to get away from it. If he just bolts and leaves, I'm just going to throw the rope down. But I want to keep his head looking at it. I don't want him tilting his head to the left and basically trying to ignore it by not looking at it. I want him to see it. I want him to understand it. I want him to accept it and learn. If he can't see it, if he's ignoring it, if his head's tilted to the other side, he's not going to learn. Starting to relax here. See what happens if I go to bring it in. There we go. Good boy. Good boy. Let's try that one more time. Real big loop. I know it's too big, but I want him, like I said, I want him to see it all. Now let's walk again. Let's walk this way. We're going to go the same direction. One more time. Snorting at it again. So if he was giving me really big reactions, what I would do, instead of sitting up here and dragging it, I would be on the ground leading him and dragging it. As long as he's just kind of snorting and looking and worrying a little bit, I'll stay up here. But if he was to get bad, wanting to really be bad, buck, run off, something like that, then I would swap and work it from the ground. Keep walking. You remember a minute ago, he got worried when it got close. He's looking around more, ignoring the rope more, worrying about the rope less. So we're getting somewhere. Nope, staying looking to the right. Step through it. Remember when I put the rope around his leg and make sure he gave and didn't panic? That's why right there. It's going to happen. And if you're worried about not doing that because of the horse getting caught in it or something like that, then you need to work the problem. The horse needs to be broke to all that. Somebody commented in one of my other videos about a horse getting caught in a rope and breaking its leg. Well, he gets caught and breaks his leg. That's because you didn't prepare him. Doesn't mean you shouldn't have done whatever you were doing, which maybe you shouldn't have. But he got caught and broke his leg because you didn't prepare him. Okay, so now we're going to work the other side. Let's go this way. And I'm going to change direction and go this way. I am left-handed, but I throw a right-handed rope. So even though I am left-handed, I'm pretty awkward with the rope on this side. But I want the horse to get used to it, dragging behind him on either side. Because later we might drag a log on either side. In his work on his ranch, he might be dragging a cow on either side. His owner might rope left-handed, I don't know. But either way, we need to be broke on both sides. I'll start bringing it in as best I can left-handed. Remember, this is where he worried the most last time. Stay going left, we ain't going out that gate. He knows that's where he gets turned out. Plus there's other buddies out there. Let's go this way. Let's go this way. There we go. Doesn't seem as worried on this side, dragging it up close as he was on the other side. Kind of worried a little bit there. Let's just walk a minute. Rolling it up, trying to roll it up left-handed. Not working too good. Oop, hit him in the butt and he didn't panic. That's my groundwork doing its thing. Let's walk, let's stop. Let's stop. Let's stop, there we go. Nope, stop, there we go. As I said, I am not a very good roper. By the time I get one broke to a rope, they're pretty broke because I done roped everything but what I was trying to rope at. Let's stop and fix my rope. I can fix it on the right. Let's stop. That was a good opportunity for him to do something bad that he didn't. Got it caught on his foot again. Let's see if he panics or if he just lets me help him out. What you gonna do? There we go. Good boy. All knotted up because of trying to roll it up with the wrong hand. See if we can get it untwisted a little bit. There we go. Getting a little frustrated with me, but you need to get used to it. You need to get over it. There we go. Good boy. Good boy. So he's got some more work he can do with the rope to get better, but there's nothing really bad going on. I'd like him to get a little better, a little more comfortable, so when I hit him with it on accident or whatever, he's okay with it, that he don't jump. So I'll continue to work that with him, and I'll start working him dragging a log. This is rooster. I'll put a link up here to his other videos if you're watching on YouTube. Until next time, thank you for watching.